Hey there, y'all. Welcome to Coffee Date Thursday. I hope you're enjoying your coffee and your morning and all of the Coffee Date Thursday videos on this month's playlist, which I will link in the description box. I did not do a Coffee Date Thursday video last week. I am sorry about that. I had no fun or creative ideas, and I've been just busy, and I feel really stressed out and behind with making videos, and now it's a holiday weekend, so I don't know. I'm going to try and start fresh this week and get you a lot of new content. But in the meantime, this week's Coffee Date Thursday video theme is taste test. So I had amazing and hilarious and exciting adventurous plans for a taste test at a music festival last weekend, and that just didn't work out. And like all the times these last few months that I've gotten behind on these videos, I have to just kind of let go of that and move forward. So today's Wednesday, actually, and of course, as you know, I'm getting ready to go to game night. I just got home from a lackluster day at work. I was very tired and feeling like there's no way I'm going to come up with a taste test for you to do by tomorrow morning. And so I opened my refrigerator to see that I, in fact, have 3 different kinds of delicious IPA beers to taste for you. I'm not gonna lie, 2 of these I have tried before, but I've never really thought about the taste of them, so I looked up a little bit of information about each of these, which I'm gonna share with you, and Don't worry, I am not drinking all of these right now. The husband just got home from work and he will happily share these with me, and no one is driving anywhere tonight. So let's see what these taste like. Okay, a little background information for you first. If you're not a beer drinker, IPA stands for India Pale Ale. IPA beer is known for being a kind of medium-bodied, bitter beer with usually a lot of hops in the flavor, usually a little bit of citrus in many of them. I'm not a taster of things. In fact, it's kind of a long running joke with my friends that I don't want to go to wine tastings ever because I don't want to know about wine, because then I won't be able to afford to drink the really cheap stuff that I buy for myself. But beer, I'm exactly the opposite on. I'm kind of a terrible snob and very picky about beer, and I love IPA beer. IPA, I'm going to tell you about just to describe the bitterness factor, which is usually like the measurement of IPA beers. Can you tell I've done so many beer tasting videos before? The bitterness of beer is measured by IBUs, and that literally stands for International Bitterness Unit. And I don't know if there's like some kind of scientific measure of that, but I'll give you I'll let you know the numbers so you can kind of have a relative gauge of how bitter they are. And I'll start with something super ubiquitous like Budweiser has apparently 7 IBUs. So that can be like your standard, like basically understandable level of bitterness. So the first one I'm going to drink I have had before. This beer is called Pinner Throwback IPA. Here's the can. It is brewed by the Oscar Blues Grill and Brewery in Colorado. Sorry, I am cooking something. All right, so the stats on Pinner Throwback IPA by Oscar Blues is that this beer has 35 IBUs, so compared to Budweiser of 7. So most of these, most of these beers are between like 4.8 and 5% alcohol by volume, all the way up to 10. These are all low alcohol by volume beers, since I like them for like drinking on the sailboat and stuff. This one has 4.9 alcohol by volume, and did I say that? 35 IBUs. So. This beer is not as bitter as I kind of expected it to be, but it's a little bit citrusy, and it's... Oh, this is going to be a burp video since I'm doing a beer tasting for you. It's lighter. It has a kind of a lighter body to most beer that I drink. Now, if you drink like super light beers like Pilsners, then this is probably more of like a little bit heavier for you, but to me it feels kind of light, almost summery. But it does still have that bitterness of hops, that very kind of delicious, earthy bitterness. All right, I'm not gonna drink all of this. Next is the Commotion APA, which is considered, it's APA is American Pale Ale. It's an American style pale ale, so it's usually not as hoppy and bitter as IPAs. I really love the can on this with the moths hovering around the light bulb. This, there's all of that. This is by Great Raft Brewing right here in Louisiana, and it is 5.2% alcohol by volume, and it has 49 IBUs. So we should expect this beer to be more bitter than the Pinner. Oh, and it is noticeably more bitter, and I like that. And immediately noticeably earthier, less citrusy, more, most woody. Oh, I like this one more. And I've had this before, but I guess never really paid that much attention to the different flavors in it, which again, I am not remotely an expert in. Definitely a fuller bodied beer than the Pinner as well. Did I say that? And less foamy. The head is not very foamy on this at all. Just very lightly bubbly. Not crazy fizzy, like it didn't immediately make me burp like the other one did. Although it's going to in a second, I'm sure. I like this one a lot. It's really good. Last but not least is Devil's Harvest Breakfast IPA. It is by Southern Prohibition Brewing, which is in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, not too far away. And I bought this absolutely for the can. So we have this fantastic cereal, I don't know, it's very violent, this can of beer. This beer is 4.9% alcohol by volume and has 60 IBUs. So this will be the bitterest, and this is a new beer for me. The most bitter, most bitterest. Oh, and immediately, like, it's got a really nice creamy head that comes out, kind of almost like a stout, which makes me wonder if this is going to be a much heavier beer than the other two. Let's see. Oh, it all actually has kind of a little sweet start, actually, kind of like a stout, like a Guinness. I guess I should let that head sit. Well, this is really, really different from the other two. It's much creamier. It's still really bitter, but not as much as I expected. The most bitter beer I have ever drank is by a local brewery here called NOLA Brewing, and it's called Mecca Hopzilla. So if you like bitter beers, it has 81 IBU, and it's like 8.9% alcohol or something. So I do recommend it. It's good. But this is really, really different from either of those two beers that I just had. Much more full-bodied, but really smooth. It almost doesn't feel carbonated, like, but barely. I'm really terrible at identifying flavors, but there's definitely like a dark fruit. Does that make sense? I'm just gonna make some stuff up now. Like a dark fruity taste. It's definitely bitter. Not as citrusy at all. A little woody, a little creamy. I really like it. Breakfast IPA. I'm gonna have to learn more about this specific type of IPA, if that's like a thing. I definitely only recommend this if you like, pardon me, if you like IPAs. Like, this is definitely not the one to start with if you're not used to bitter beers. Which one of these am I going to drink and which one am I going to give away? Have a beer. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching me taste beer while you are drinking coffee in the morning. I'll try to be a little more creative next time, but I do thank you for being here. I did decide that the Commotion is my favorite, so I'm going to pack a couple of these in my bag and get off to be geeky. I hope you're having a fantastic night and a fantastic coffee date Thursday. I can't wait to see you soon.